today, and it says that we are covering the Menagerie Part 2, right? Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I agree.
Right. And it was written by Gene Roddenberry, but directed by, did we cover this? Robert Butler. And Robert Butler got the credit on this because there was more Cage material in it. And who's the other guy? Marc Daniels got the credit for the first part because there was more envelope material in there. And this was released, air date was November 24th, 1966.
November 24th. Okay, well, cool. So what are we covering? We're going to cover the Menagerie Part 2. And let's bring people up to date. You guys should be watching our first part of this thing, which covers Part 1. But if you skipped over and you're on Part 2, was Kirk talking? So you said something about the recap here, but I read on the trivia that this is the only episode where he doesn't do like a star log thing. He's talking about the trial, and that's the recap, and it's not him doing a Stardate update thing.
Yes,
as in other, like as in
voiceover, right?
Right, exactly. Well, he's doing a voiceover as the trial and not like a Stardate, whatever. Yeah. Stardate 2376, Captain Kirk does whatever. Exactly.
Does whatever. He does whatever because
he can.
Because he's the captain. You are the captain, right?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, so I put a couple things here. Just a real quick trivia that I know comes later, but they said that Spock says hyperdrive and he doesn't say warp drive in this episode. And I guess that was from something that Gene Roddenberry had done before, and they used hyperdrive, and then later on it became warp drive.
But they're doing that. He said that as a Cage episode character, right?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Right. Also, you mentioned from something he did earlier, I think he was a big fan of, and don't they mention this about how he was influenced by Forbidden Planet? I get this.
I thought he wrote one or something. We talk about Roddenberry?
Roddenberry watched the 1953-ish movie.
It could be. Yeah, exactly. That could be it exactly. See, you pegged it. Okay, so you said space disaster. Oh, let me just make a comment before we get into this. I really love the actors that they picked for these episodes because watching these are pretty damn good actors. If you look at some actors in some shows, they're just kind of winging it. These guys kind of dive into their character and go for what it is that they're doing, right? Like he's protecting her, he's kind of backing up. I mean, he really kind of goes for it. Or when the fire is burning and he's in the whatever,
Right.
He really, he's not in a fire really, but he's doing a really good job. It's nice. Yeah. It's nice to see.
And we're talking about all the people in this show, in the Cage characters are all into it. It's not like any of them are, well, that's a minor character. He can't act too good. We'll put him in the background.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I guess that was testament to how they picked and did the Cage pilot. They wanted to sell the show, right? So they picked everybody 100% superb players.
So the casting company that did that did a good job, I think. Now, with No Survivors, that caught me too. No Survivors, no encampment. And I thought about that. I said, no survivors. We know there was a survivor. But then I was thinking on Spock's part in the original, as it happened, did he know? And I don't think he did.
Not at that point, right? They didn't know
exactly.
All of them were. When they disappeared, he assumed then all of it's fake.
Yeah.
He saw those aliens. But I thought that was a neat line. No survivors. No encampment.
Yeah. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Let's see if we're here. Oh, we're not there yet. So then you go. It's your career. You must
see the end of the transmission. Why is he so? Well, he's protecting the Kirk. He's brand new to the Enterprise. He's loyal in this episode to Pike. And he's looking out for Kirk. And I'm going, which is it? Not that he couldn't do both, but
I think he could be both. But I don't know why he's saying it's your career, because Kirk isn't doing anything. Kirk wasn't the one that stole the Enterprise. Kirk's not the one that did all this stuff. Kirk's just there at a court-martial. So I don't know.
They're implying, Mendez is implying it's Kirk's fault because it's his ship, right? It's going to be his fault whether it's him or not. And I think that's just wrong. It's obviously Spock who's doing this, and they're already blaming the captain of the starship. And I go, why?
There's a couple places where I have why, and I want to ask you why, and I hope you can give me a good answer and a good answer.
Yeah. And so, he bounces up against that plex, and now he's going to display his, most of his power. And he goes up there, and they got a great sound, wah, 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 right? They had to have a very thick, they had to have something there. It was clear. I mean, they probably had to clean the damn thing all the time. They didn't have microfiber cloths, right? Did they have Windex to make it streak free? I mean, it was a gorgeous.
Well, they use newspaper and vinegar.
Exactly. On this transparent aluminum.
I have a question for you though, because I don't really understand this. So first of all, I didn't know all the Talesians when I saw it before. I knew it now, but I didn't know they were all played by women. And it makes sense that they wanted a smaller figure for the Talosians because they're more head and not much work. And they explain that later in the episode. But why are they so condescending to him? I don't understand why when they're talking to him they're so condescending. Planet, but we won't get to that now. Forget I said it, because we're going to get to that toward the end.
But they do think that they are superior. I totally think that they are superior at this point. Come on. When I talk to one of these 160 IQ network guys, and I don't understand the 7 layers of networking and all this kind of stuff, he talks. They're beneath them. All the aliens. There we go. All the aliens they're capturing are beneath them, and he says. The leader says, this one has more promise, all right? Looks more adaptable. But there's still the Talosians.
Yeah, but I mean, with that knowledge, they're still colonizing with humans and not Talosians.
They're what?
If they really they're not preserving the Talosian people.
They are.
The Talosians are gone.
No, what are they going to impregnate? The humans to do their dirty work on the planet.
What? So they are looking at them as slaves. I thought they were looking at them to populate the planet, as to get it. So they're going to use them as slaves to really build up the planet, so the Talosians could go back to the surface.
That was my impression, that they want to rescue their race. They're not going to use humans to substitute for the race. They're going to solve the devastation up above, rebuild the buildings. They've lost that ability. All is what they do is think and
okay, so then all we're saying is they're going back to the same thing. Then they're going to have a race of slaves from these two people when he goes, and actually it's all virtual anyway, so they're not really going to have kids, are they? Well, she can have kids. She can have kids.
They'll build a society of slaves to build the buildings and the infrastructure and stuff, and eventually these our Talosians go to the surface, and they won't need these people anymore because they've done the work.
Well, and they're just going to ship them off and throw them into space. I don't know. So Spock really didn't do any damn good at all in this episode. See, I'm losing it now. I felt better about this because Spock is taking him, and maybe he can impregnate the woman now. And they're going to build their little slave factory. So what really did Spock help him do?
Are you talking?
But don't answer that now.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about Pike? No, not Spock.
Yes, Pike. No, Pike. Yes, Spock is taking Pike to the planet again to kind of have the quote unquote freedom that is really not a freedom. It's like if we're looking at this scenario playing out the way it is. Spock's not really doing any benefit to anyone except helping the Telosians create a slave race.
So now you're saying Spock, he's not helping out any. I got to forget everything I said. They want Pike back because they learned when he was there the last time they did wrong, and now they just want to take care of him.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you answered why they were so condescending, and I get that because I do talk to some people like, you don't know where the start button is, for God's sakes, please, and I lose a lot of customers because of that. I just have to tell you, I really like the Cage or the first. I like the way Spock or Leonard Nimoy played his character. I really think there's some brilliance in that character, and I know he changed it to be more strict in the future episodes. But God, I like the way he played that character.
Well,
I don't know if you're as impressed as I was, but I really kind of liked it.
Okay, I like. It's a different Spock, and we had number one in that.
And we had number one, yeah.
Be the Spock thing. So.
Oh, that's right. She was the computer, like the Telosian said. She's like a computer. You don't want to breed with her.
Yeah. So that was Susan Oliver. What's her character? Said that you don't want her. You'd be mating with a computer. Why? I want to know why how Vina knows what number one is like. How does she know her personality or what her job is or how she responds to things? Why does she come up with the word crossing her with a computer?
I thought the Telosians had already said that when she was.
Did they?
Yes, they had already said. I believe they did. And then she was just having a temper tantrum, a meltdown, like I do when I'm hitting on a girl, and then my friends come over and they actually hit on her and actually pick her up. Then I have a little temper tantrum all the time. I was with her first. I was, hey. I think she was just having a temper tantrum at that point.
Okay.
Like, why are you replacing me? Wait. I'm still a viable solution here. Don't do this yet.
Pick me, she says, right? He already.
Yeah. Well, he told her under the tree he liked her, that he was attracted to her, and that was part of the deal. Yeah. Remember where the horses were.
Yeah. Okay, so you're saying the Telosians already mentioned that she was. Oh, that's right. They were describing the two choices.
Yes.
That's right. That's why Vina knows, and then she is having her tantrum. I like that explanation. That's good. Every time I watch this, I keep forgetting the fact that the Telosians just explained it, and I keep thinking when Vina's talking that she's saying this out of the blue, and it's not even that way at all. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, that's good. Someone would say, it's not that difficult. It's just entertainment. Sit down and watch the show. What do you think?
No, but it is. I was thinking while I was watching this, I said, and you said it was Gene Roddenberry who wrote this. I was kind of like, how did he come up with this idea? It's a pretty good idea for a show. You know what I mean? It's not like, it wasn't a really bad idea for a show. For a pilot, I thought it was pretty decent. That they go and they're on this. I thought it was a pretty good idea. So I don't know if he had the idea or his brain was so trained to come up with these ideas, but I thought overall, this was a very good idea for an episode. I did. And then even the rapper was a good idea for the episode.
Oh, yes. Like you said, the Cage is clever because I think it makes you think. It's not just a shoot me up or a fight kind of, right? Action thing.
Right.
But then the rapper, I'm totally impressed. I'm always impressed with the rapper. He has this existing information and he has to somehow get a story around there that will work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't do it.
It was pretty good. I think he talks to his friends a lot. I don't believe that he came up with all this himself. I believe that he did have some serious sit-downs with some people and talk about it. Like you and I are talking it out. And then he goes, oh, that's a good idea. Well, what if there's an accident in space, a space accident, and Captain Pike gets mutilated, and we already know that they can do some stuff illusion-wise and make him feel like he's in a real place. And,
let's do that.
Let's do that. Yeah. Yeah. So I like, and I'm kind of losing we'll come back over to yours because I want to dominate this conversation for just a minute more. And I love that even in the 60s, we have the comb over. Just like the Donald Trump comb over, we had the doctor, whatever his name is, comb over.
Oh, Piper? No, that's no.
Let's see if I can find it real quick. Dr. Phil Boyce.
Boyce, I'm supposed
Dr.
to know
Phil
that.
Boyce.
Yeah. Comb over.
So his comb over. Yeah. Look at the episode and you'll see his comb over. And I'm like, even in the 60s, they got the comb over.
Well,
It's funny they made Captain Kirk a hair. Oh, you know why they did it? Because it was a cage. It was the first one. They wouldn't have made hair pieces and stuff for the characters right. So they were just trying to get it made. They weren't trying to worry about whose hair looked like what at that moment, right?
What do you mean, like in the cage?
No. In the two-parter here, we're going back to the cage. And the cage, when they made the pilot, the cage, they weren't worried so much, I think, about people's hair. So the comb over was okay. They weren't worried, like with Kirk, they made him hair pieces, right? With Shatner, William Shatner, they made hair pieces. For Uhura, they made her wigs. For all of the characters, or the main characters,
Yeoman Rand had a beehive.
Yeoman Rand and Chekhov. Remember, Chekhov had
a wig.
His.
Yeah, but wasn't that only for the first episode with the Apollo? Was that when he comes in? Who mourns?
Yeah, but I'm just saying for their characters later on making Star Trek, they were more worried about the way their hair looked. But I love that the Doctor has a comb over. You can look that up.
Yep.
I just thought, and we'll go back over to years in a minute, but I did think that number one, that what's her name, Major Barrett, made a good number one, and a captain when she took the captaincy. I thought her lines weren't all that great when she's on the planet, what she has to say, but I thought she made a good number. I thought she did a good job.
In the past, I always thought, she's kind of too stilted and overcompensating to be the non-emotional, logical one. But the more I watch over the years the episode, I feel like it's good. She's playing the part.
She does a good job, doesn't she? I think she does a good job. I don't think her lines are that great, but I think she does a good job portraying having to be playing the captain when she had to step into that role.
I like Majel Barrett in the number one role better than I like her in the Christine role.
Right. So you're going, is that the Gorn? I think that is the Gorn. Yes. Is that the Gorn? I thought the Gorn was the one that fought Captain Kirk on that planet.
Yes. And
it's one of the other monsters that they
need to put a picture in for that, because
we should.
The Talosians come off the elevator the first time to meet Pike.
Oh, is that what you're asking?
Following through two cells that are in front of his cell, or before his cell. And one of them is a tree. And later on, they do a shot and they show the other characters later on in the episode. But for that first moment the Talosians walk by, it looks like it is the leg and waist of the Gorn, and I'm going, well, wait a minute, didn't the guy who did the special make that for that episode and say, hey, look, why does it look to me like a Gorn? Anyway, so I just added that note because it seemed
okay, so that it might be. I thought you were talking about when he was choking the thing, and that was a different character.
No.
Yeah.
In one of the cells. Yeah. Let's examine.
Now, what's his space vehicle Enterprise is awkward? I'm not sure I understand what you're doing.
Pike says, "I'm from the space vehicle, Enterprise, from a star system across the galaxy."
Yeah.
Space vehicle? Come on, it wasn't good enough to say starship to an alien.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah. I'm from that old Model T up there. So it was awkward the way he said it. Yeah.
It's an awkward phrasing that they gave him.
Yeah. No, some of the lines are awkward in here. Some aren't that good. But I thought the concept for the episode was good. But some of the writing, I don't know if and I have seen this where they kept saying, and I don't believe it's exactly true, Gene Roddenberry was lazy. Remember, they said that he was lazy, and they had to yell at him to get him to write his stuff, and he would keep putting it off.
I don't buy that. They might
Yeah.
have been having to pander to the non-science fiction group of people. They know that they got to capture a wide wide audience, so they have to make a story and less technical, and maybe some poor terminology doesn't.
You think it was that? I think Gene Roddenberry was overworked. I mean, he's producing and all this other stuff, right? And he's having to write. That's a lot on someone's plate. So I would imagine, the way I'm seeing is maybe he did write this, but he's just trying to get it out, right? He wants to get it off his desk.
Yeah, I agree with you that he is probably not lazy. Whatever you heard, where you say.
Well, it's in some of what I've read and listened to that he was. Some of the people were very frustrated with him. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, he's pulled in 52 directions and he can't get anything done.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. But they're waiting on him on some scripts and stuff, and he goes, "I'll have it done," and they wouldn't. So they said they'd be standing on his, in front of his desk saying, "Hey, we need that stuff." You hadn't heard that before?
No, but
or read it? Yeah.
They hired John D.F. Black, right, to be like a script polisher or something, right? So they had to get more people in.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. What else we got? What are you thinking here at this point? We say there's some.
I was looking at the matte painting of Rigel 7.
Yes.
I kind of like it. It's kind of it's like an over the top matte painting, don't you think? Remember with the castle and the moon and or whatever it is in the background. I'm like, this has been like, they could have toned it down, but I like it. I think it's kind of an over the top matte painting where she's coming out and then the thing's going to attack Pike
and she says before so the matte painting is obviously in the background and they're going to walk towards the building.
Yeah.
She reacts very well. She's trying to pull him, and she goes, "Come on!"
Yeah,
And I got to show that clip where she all of a sudden.
I know, right? I know.
It's like, what's this extra little ouch or reaction that doesn't flow right?
So you think she might have done a little overacting there? I know exactly what you're talking about. We're behind they're behind a rock or something. I don't know what that is.
Right. We got to put those two shots that I'm thinking of in so that we can reference.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do that.
I'll get some screenshots.
You're talking about the ship a little bit here, about the internal parts of the ship, like the briefing room, and then something about
that's one of the couple episodes where we get to see a briefing room, and it has the ceiling, it has the 3 posts and ceiling, obviously the old Enterprise view. Add picture.
What's the swap the ship to it though it was a fly? I don't know what that means.
Swat this ship as though it was a fly.
Fly, it says ply. You know that, right?
I do. That's me trying to type while I'm watching at the same time.
I'm going, what?
Okay.
Swat. So it's supposed to be swat this ship as though it was a fly. I see. Okay. So,
and here, if we start buzzing about down there, we're liable to find their mental power is so great that they get out and swat this ship as though it were a fly. I like that line. I remember watching this, I think when I went to a Star Trek convention in the 70s, like at the Sherwin Inn or something.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to that line, and I could just visualize what he's trying to tell the other people to watch out for. And then Boyce, Boyce.
That's correct.
Saying they could make us push any button, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I think did he say that or someone else said that? She said that. She said that to Pike, the woman on the Vivian. She said, "Look, they could make them push buttons and think that they're flying it when they're crashing it." That's when she's Vivian or whatever.
Vina. You're right.
Vina. Yeah, Vina says that.
What's you say? Find is he Boyce?
Boyce is the doctor,
right? And he says
Yeah, right.
See, he makes a comment that their power of illusion is so great that we can't be sure of anything we do, anything we see. He puts a pause in there. I think it's great.
And I love how he goes down to the planet and then he goes, see, I told you so. He had to kind of like, I told you. Who are they going to do anything? Yeah.
Yep. She says when they're running towards the castle, the Kalar, and she grimaces, and then
yes,
he also does another one where you said where they're behind the thing and she hits her hand on something and makes a noise and the guy comes out.
Yeah. Now the thing for me that I noticed on this episode and on the other one where there was Lurch in there, they really like the villain that's really huge. These guys that they hired to be the villains, you know, the guy that he's fighting there, what is he? He's got to be close to 7 feet. I mean, it looks very, very tall.
But
you know,
but in my opinion, they're trying to make him look big by putting baggy pants on him. But he's really just a thin guy. He's just a thin guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's not that villainous. But yes, but I thought he was very tall. Is he tall, or you're saying he's not tall?
I'm saying he is very tall as an actor and a human being. But my impression is that what they were going for was a big being, and he's just
exactly. Yes. I same impression. Yep. Yeah. They wanted it bigger, but you're right. He's very thin and very tall. Yeah. So they go, is there anything? They go,
make him look big. Yeah.
They go, is this the best we can do? They go, we got 10 minutes to shoot this man. Just get him in the costume.
And that's why I said in part one that security officer that's in the court martial. What are we doing? The trial. Who takes Spock away? Who's standing on the left side of the Kirk? So Kirk and Mendez, and he's on the left side of the screen. That security guy is a security guy because he's beefy. Yeah.
Right? Yes, exactly.
Not that he could take on Spock though.
I've seen your comment about the rubber tip sword quite a bit. It's even in the trivia in here that it bends against his body. They said the trivia like on Amazon is it's supposed to be metal, but it bends like plastic. Something like that.
Think about it. In 1966, they didn't think that we'd be able to freeze frame, right? That the audience be doing this.
I think that's why they overdid things over the top, right? They do, especially to make an impact with the audience, because it's a one-time deal at that time, right? I mean, it's a one and done. You watch this on Thursday night, you're talking about it with your friends on Friday morning or Friday afternoon, but it's only what you can capture doing that one episode at that one time.
Yes.
Yeah, it was kind of a brilliant time at that time.
Everybody's going, did you catch that part? And it's like, oh, I blinked. No, I didn't. Well, just play it back. What are you talking about? Play it back.
Yeah. Well, if you look at like that woman's green makeup, Venus green makeup, it's really, from what I'm watching, it was so heavy and caked. And I mean, but on a little TV or one from the 60s, it just looked like a green person, right? So in high def, or now that we were looking at it, you could definitely see this woman was really caked in makeup. Where on TV, you're like, that's a green woman, right? So.
Well, you know the lore, the story about her and her green makeup?
No, I do not.
The test. So you do a test shoot. You got to have enough green on there, and you got to compensate for a black and white TV and a color TV, right? You got to do that for Spock too. You can't have Spock look like he's got a tan or something on a black and white TV. So you got to pick these colors correctly. And they put green on there. They do their test shoot. They watch the dailies. It comes back. She doesn't look green. Well, put more green on. They put more green on. They do it again. They come back. They do it a third time, I believe. And they're just amazed. And so someone had to go through the workflow to these guys. They're color correcting it. They're going, this lady's coming out green. Something's wrong.
Oh my God! No way!
Well, I think that's.
Is that for real? Is that for real?
In the book I told you, The Making of Star Trek.
Oh, okay. I got that. I got to read it. Yeah. Wow. I did not know that. That is crazy. That is great. But it happens. This stuff happens all the time. Even today, we have this kind of stuff happen.
Yeah. People not knowing what.
Someone's mumbling and they're supposed to be mumbling, like the usual suspects, right? He was mumbling. I won't get into the story here. But anyway, I saw the actors and they were reacting, and he goes, yeah, he said, can I mumble in this whole thing? And he goes, yeah, why not? But I could imagine someone going, we can't understand what the heck he's saying.
So
right? Overdubbing it. They start dubbing it. Oh, wow. The Forbidden Planet you said something about.
Do I have some notes on that? Rubber tips. Oh, reminds me of Forbidden Planet. Energy. The what's that gun? The photon, the phaser cannon.
Oh yeah. The phaser that they're using. Yeah.
And it has the two globes.
Yeah.
Now put that vertical. Watch the movie Forbidden Planet, where the Krell built these things that are 7,000 stories tall into the planet, and incredible. And it's these energy pods, elevators that are going up and down, and the humans are only this big, and it looks the same with the circle, the ball and the connector. And I was thinking of the Forbidden Planet, and well, Gene Roddenberry is supposed to be influenced by it. Maybe this is why people are saying it, because it reminded me of.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
I
like what you say. Disengage. Who was she talking to? She's yelling at it, and an unmanned lady. I thought she was talking to the Enterprise. Wasn't she telling the Enterprise to stop it? Because they said they could control it from the Enterprise. Remember when they're in the briefing room?
Yes, but okay. So is Spock on the planet or not? At that
Spock
point?
is. I don't remember. Anyway, I think he's not on that planet. I don't know.
It looks to me, I always look at that scene. She's turning, but instead of talking into the communicator to just say, "Hey, there's a lot of noise there, and I need to cup the communicator and say, hey, disengage."
Yeah.
She's yelling it out into, "Hey, disengage."
I see what you're saying. Yeah. No, I thought maybe I wasn't paying that close attention, because I thought she was just telling the Enterprise, because I thought in the briefing room they said they were going to control all the power from there.
Yes. See how I watch an episode? I don't put the pieces together in a row, and maybe they've already put all those pieces there. Let me look up the disengage. What is it? Disengage. Disengage from helm. No. It's number 1. Yeah, right here. Poof. Disengage. The top of that knoll should have been sheared off the first second. Maybe it was. It's what I tried to explain in the briefing room. Their power of illusion is so great, we can't be sure of anything we do, anything we see. Right. She said, our circuits are beginning to heat, says Spock. We'll have to cease power, says Spock. Then she says, disengage. It doesn't look like she's...
Right. No, I think she is yelling. She's yelling at someone. But maybe there's a yeoman on the planet that she's relaying it to, and then the yeoman goes, disengage.
Someone over this, they're going, don't you ever watch the episode? It's so clear. I'm going, no, I'm confused.
I don't know what's going on. So here's what I got right here. So the spear that Pike has when he's fighting that guy, I'm backing up just a little bit when he's saving her and she's doing her little. But when he jumps off, I said, "Ouch! What a way to die!" Wouldn't that be a real B to be attacking someone? You're frontally attacking them. You jump off and they stab you in the chest. I mean, your own momentum is forcing them to kill you, right? When the guy jumps off of the thing to get to Pike, and Pike has that little tiny spear.
But you're not talking about the rubber spear on the steps. You're talking
not the rubber, the one that he picks up from the ground, which is a weird looking spear anyway. I don't know who. That's a very elaborate spear. Well, didn't he see it? I mean, I think he saw that he didn't see the blade before Pike put it up.
No, he was. Oh, I got a blade here. Oh, he's jumping. Boom. And he whipped it out as he was motion. That was the intention of the way the scene was cut.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense then.
I take it as the captain was being clever. They cut it so that, I am going to grab this as he.
Okay. I'll take that. See?
Quick-witted MacGyver kind of a thing.
He's going to jump on me. I'm going to kill him. What's this much more? Spock is seeing this for the first time. Oh, because he's watching the screen for the first time.
He says, watch this stuff. There's much more.
Yeah.
Well, the screen was, how does he know there's more to watch? Does Spock know the whole story because Pike, as a younger guy, explained to him what happened on the planet? How does he know there's much more? How does he know that the Talosians are actually going to transmit more stuff? In fact, the transmission stops for a while and he goes, I don't know why it stopped.
Yeah, I think they stopped it to make the continuity of the story because they wanted to fill in more of the gap. And then that's why they remember. And then they cut it back toward the end of when they're walking. I think when they start back again, he's walking in with the woman holding her hand or something, which I believe, I don't remember seeing that on the original Cage. Was that a reshoot of something or was that the actual shoot?
Yeah, see, I don't remember either. And I think way back when I used to always wonder about that. Oh, is that in the original and it's in a different section and they popped it in here? Or was it an outtake? And
yeah, maybe it was an outtake. I think it might have been an outtake because it looked like it was from the original, and yet I don't ever remember seeing it. Not that I can remember that well, but I can't remember seeing that.
Yeah.
So we'll have to put that in so people can see what we're talking about here.
Yes. So we'll put a note in so that when we watch The Cage, we can reference and find out if that scene was in there in The Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question though, and I know I'm bouncing out, and I hate to do this to the audience.
All over.
I'm bouncing out of, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm all over. Well, that one person that's going to watch this because they got insomnia in the middle of the night. They can't do anything. They're stumbling through. They go, I like Star Trek. They stumble across their.
One of the
stumble across their channel.
Shared this with.
So Vina,
yeah.
Why is she putting up such a fight? Why is she arguing that they're controlling her mind and she's gotten up? She doesn't have this. She's complaining, and she absolutely knows what's going on the planet. She knows that these guys saved her life, and she knows. And why is she complaining when she could be saying, they saved my life. They actually tried to put me together. This is a big problem with me in this episode, but they couldn't. And so I think she would have been more sympathetic to the Talosians than the way she's coming off the Pike, where she's like, they're controlling my mind and I can't do this and that. I'm like, why is she having another temper tantrum here? She absolutely knows what's going on. It's not like she's kind of out there without some knowledge of the Talosians. I mean, it sounds to me like they've been pretty good to her this whole time.
Doesn't she say that to Pike while he's strangling the wolf, the werewolf?
Yes, but that's later. That's later. Why isn't she more upfront? Why is she bitching when they're by the horses or something? They're controlling my mind. And why are the Talosians punishing her anyway? She's like a daughter to them. Parts of that didn't make sense to me.
No, a daughter? They're animals. They've only
No. You think her growing up with them after all that they did for her? I mean, even if you have an animal, even if you have a dog, you get very attached to the dog. I mean, you get attached. People get very attached to. Talosians. Okay, you can say
the Talosians aren't getting attached. They've got these aliens from across the galaxy that
Okay. I just walked into my own trap. Darn it! I hate it when I do that. Okay, I'll take it. So I'm going to go back to the cutting with the torch and stuff. Now, if I was going to buy something from Star Trek as a keepsake, which I won't do, but if I was, I'd have to have some of those goggles. Those are killer goggles.
Wait, the goggles? Yeah. Safety goggles that you use in science class or something?
Well, they're not that. They're bubbled out. Someone made those just for that episode. They're plastic molded.
Weren't they tinted too or something?
Oh, they were tinted and bubbled. They were like fly eye, and they had the white trim. I mean, those were sexy goggles, man. Hey, and this one though,
practical. Riding your
practical. You saying cut, splice, break the scene? What's that about?
25-24. those notes are totally not elaborate. Whipping right over to 24, 25, 24. So they're taking from the cage to put in the menagerie, and the way this thing is spliced.
Why is he doing that? Why is he bitching like that? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. She grew up with these guys. I mean, she's, if what number one said, like she was, look, hold on. She said a grown woman crashed on the planet, right? A grown woman. So she was always grown. And then she's 18 years later. So let's say a grown woman, what is a grown woman? 24 to 30. So let's, she was 30. So she's still only 48 or 30 something. Or in between 30 something and 40 something.
What are you trying to say? What's your
Her
point?
age. Well, my point is, why is she complaining about the Talosians? She's been there for 18 years. They saved her life. She knows what it's like, but maybe, I don't know, maybe he's the first person she's had to vent. Maybe she's just venting at this point.
Venting? These guys didn't treat her good. They feed off of her thoughts. They make her do things that get into situations and think she's doing things that she isn't, so she can relive something and they can listen to her mind, because they just like watching TV. They're not nice. They're not friends. She's bitching because they're terrible. She's in a cage. She's an animal.
Okay, all right.
They're mistreating her, like all of them. Well, mistreating them. They're nothing to them. To the Talosian. I think you think they're buddy.
Well, I thought that I didn't take it as severe as you're putting it out there. Your exclamation, and I'm not just saying this to pacify her, it makes sense, because I couldn't understand why she was going off on that. But if you're really pulling it back, I mean, you're really like, see, I brought some human sympathy and human emotion and human dignity into when I was watching this, and bringing that to the Talosians though, and saying they're more connected, right? Where you're saying they're so disconnected, Kevin, that they're just messing. She is nothing to them, and so she was going through hell before Pike got there. Yeah.
And yes, and I'm saying that's the way the Talosians were.
Yes. No, I get that.
Okay.
And you're saying they had a change of heart, but I do have to say, and I'm going to say it now because we're getting kind of close to how many were on that crew? 18 people.
I was agreeing with you though.
No. Okay. Say it again.
I was agreeing with you that I kind of always suspected that the line that says we don't know how to put her together, they didn't know what a human looked like, was a bunch of bogus, and they should have said what you said. We didn't know the medical way to put her together correctly.
Yeah. They should have totally said that. We didn't know the medical, we didn't have that knowledge, right? But if you're right and they're so damn arrogant, then they would say, hey, well, and that doesn't make sense, because how many people were on board with her? 26, 18? I can't remember.
Oh, do they have a figure? What do I know?
Yeah,
no.
they say there was I think number one says it at one point.
Tell me part of the line. I'll find it. What is it?
I think it said there was 18 people on board or something. No, okay. So what else? Well, they do somewhere. I think they say. I think maybe it's in the cage. I don't know. I thought they talked about how many was on. Well, they do. No, I think the guy said somewhere. Maybe it's at the beginning when they're talking to the old guy that's part of the crew, right? Hey, we crashed here. Remember the old guy that's talking, explaining it to Pike and all that stuff.
Old guy, the survivors, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? 11 survivors from the crash.
There you go. You've said enough to make my point.
11.
You've said enough.
Continue.
You've said enough. The thing is if they had 1, 2, 3 dead people on board, they find this blob of this broken little girl or this broken woman, right?
Oh.
All they got to do is open their freaking eyes, look and say, I think she's probably part of this species. This is how they're put together. Let's cut this person open and we'll figure out how to put her together, right?
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't make sense that they would just put her together like a weird blob of whatever. It doesn't make sense.
Yep. I have a question here that you have to explain for me.
Okay.
Why are you discussing escape plans? While you are presumably, obviously being monitored in a mind control situation. Pike is describing how he wants to escape, or he's talking with her in the forest there in the park on, so I gotta close off my mind and think about hate and what's it take. He's talking as if the Talosians aren't around watching everything. The whole point of them being in there is to watch everything they're doing.
Well, I don't remember when he said it to her, but when he says, you're not real. I mean, I thought, first of all, it's kind of a cruel thing to say unless he wasn't real. And I guess he didn't think she was real. She thought she was an illusion, right? But you're right. He talks to her as if he's trying to figure something out or something. He's talking to her as if she's real, even though he's believing that she's not real. So in that regard, he would just be kind of working out things out loud. And you're right. Why would he do that while he knows that the Talosians are monitoring? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you.
And since you're not real, there's not much point in continuing this conversation, is there?
Yeah.
I always had a problem with, who said that, who wasn't? He thought she wasn't real?
Yeah, he said she's not real. She's part of it. He thought he's part of it.
Are you real? As real as you wish. And she says, but he says, that's not an answer.
Yeah.
So he always thought she was fake?
Well, that's what he's saying.
And then at the end of the episode, the Talosians say, this is what she really looks like. She's real, all right. Yeah, okay.
Right.
All right.
And the reason that she didn't go with him, I don't know. She would have had a better chance on a Star Trek Enterprise than them trying to put her back together when she got to Starbase 11 or something than what the Talosians did with her.
You said what? I hear them say this all the time. You said Star Trek Enterprise.
Well, what did you want me to say?
Starship Enterprise.
Starship Enterprise.
Instead of Star Trek.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right.
I hear that.
That's right. Yep. You're absolutely right. You caught me.
You're supposed to
so
say.
I'm going to edit that, and I'm not going to say that when we're talking about it.
No, you say it, but you do what's a voiceover? What's it called? You loop it, and you say Starship Enterprise. No. Switch it around and edit it so that you're saying, "Oh no, I'm making a joke." That's just a normal thing that's why everybody says it. It's the Star Trek Enterprise. No,
it's so right though. Wow. I'm glad you caught that. I wouldn't have caught it. Even listening to this 10 more times, I would not have caught that.
You ever watched the movie Free Enterprise?
No.
It's a comedy, Star Trek related, and what was my point? He had to explain to his mother, it's Star Trek, not track. A track is what a train goes on. Explaining to his mother. Feel like it. All right.
But we diverged.
Yes. And then nice place you got here, Mr. Pike. That's a nice line that I quote all the time. Nice place you got here, Mr.
Nice
Pike.
place. Yeah. You know what I really liked in this episode? I just want to say, because I made a note of it. I think they've made a really good point, or really it got me kind of internally in a way that I don't think I've ever really looked at before, that being locked up, and I don't know how it got to me, is a terrible thing. And I really felt confined and like claustrophobic, and going to prison or something. I don't know that I could handle it, not for any amount of time at all.
Oh, you think that they talked about it well enough for you to get a feel for that this could be awful?
Oh, get some empathy and say, man, this is not a good thing to be. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Later on, we have another. So did they mention about being in captivity? Sure. He says, or she says, number one says it's wrong to.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
We have another episode, the one with Hedford, where he says, Zephyr Cochrane says, what immortality is what does he say about immortality? It's a lot of boredom. So we know
boy.
being caged is like, and we know what immortality is like. We're learning a lot of stuff out of this show.
We're learning a lot. We're learning, and we also like they mention about like being lazy. I think this was in war. I said war. What a bitch. I mean, because they destroyed their planet, so they can't live on the surface. Mm-hmm. So that's got to be horrific, right? You got a cage. That's horrific. And then I think Gene Roddenberry makes a point on being lazy. Like after a while, where she's talking to Pike and she's saying basically they have to live through other people, and they kind of basically gave up doing things, mm-hmm. and they developed a brain. But they make it sound like being lazy. Like you have to be active, you have to be doing things. And I thought he made a good point on that too. So there was 3 really good points in here. War, not a good thing, especially destroying your planet, not a good thing. When you get, if you get to sitting around and not doing anything,
not a good thing.
Terrible. I was at Best Buy today trying to get an iPhone fixed for a customer. And they kept saying, go sit over there. And then he goes, well, now move over there and sit down. I'm like, I don't want to sit anymore. I'm done sitting. But I think that there is a point to be set. So that's what I've got. I also got one more comment, and I hope I wrote it down because I don't know that I did. But when they're thinking, I think when they're on the planet's surface at the end, and they're going to blow, number one's going to blow them all up. And then they start assimilating. She starts assimilating the information they took from the Enterprise, right? And all of a sudden, as she's assimilating it, her little head starts pulsating. And I'm thinking makes her head pulsate a little bit. It was just an observation. Yes. I wish my head did that when I thought. Then people could look at me and go, don't bother me thinking.
I read that I made some notes here. Two comments. It won the prestigious Hugo Award for dramatic presentation from the World Science Fiction Convention in 1967. The same year, Robert Heinlein won the award for his novel The Moon is a Harsh Mistress. And then the following year, Star Trek won it again, so another Hugo Award, for The City on the Edge of Forever. And Gene Roddenberry was given a Special Achievement Award. I think those are the only awards that it got.
That's pretty good, though, right?
Besides
I haven't gotten an award since I was like in the Navy. That's been a long time ago, and no award since then.
Was that kindergarten?
And nothing that prestigious. No, in the Navy. I got some awards in the Navy, but I was a bit older. I did get some in not kindergarten, but elementary, and I don't know when elementary school ends. When does it end? I don't know. I got some for math. I was a math whiz. I don't know if you know that or not.
There are a lot of things I don't know.
I wish I would have. I think my mother had it, and it's probably gone long ago. But I did get an award for math. I was pretty good at it. Well, I thought this was a good episode. Again, on this one, an 87 for me for sure. I liked the way they did it. I liked the way you wrapped it. I just liked it, except for, and I love your explanations because that. I just couldn't get my mind around these guys being so disconnected, the Talosians, that they were just so disconnected from who they were and what they were dealing with and everything else. It is a big disconnect. So I'm really glad you brought that into this episode. So I hope you guys out there that are watching, yes, you, don't forget that Bruce kind of brought to our attention how disconnected these Talosians are. So rewatch the episode.
I'm the one watching you. You say 87, and I think it's worth comparing to the first half of the episode where you gave it also an 87, and so did I. And I'm agreeing with you, and that's not anything unusual. We agree on a lot of things.
I think we do. Yeah.
Where you watching a movie and or in an Star Trek episode, and Kirk's going like, Spock and McCoy, you're actually agreeing, No, and I agree with you. An 87 is a great number for the whole package. It's an awesome episode. I'm sure there's ones that are going to be going to push beyond. Have we broken the 90 barrier yet with anything?
No, we have not broken 90 yet.
Yeah.
No.
Good.
We fit zero. I'm sorry. I said, yeah, it was fun. This was fun to watch. It was a good episode. I just liked it. I think that they touched on a lot of really cool life issues, and people talk about these things, right? And I think Gene Roddenberry kind of was, I don't understand everything he was trying to say, but trying to put it into really, what was it, 50 some minutes? He really did a good job. And I think even the rapper is very good. Yeah.
And then it turns out that what's his name is just an illusion. Poof, he goes away. What is it, Mendez? Right? Where were you?
I want to talk about that. I did not like the way they wrapped it up. I did not like where Uhura comes on the line and says, "Oh, they're all good. Never mind." In the Navy, even if you did something that turned out to be good, right, you would be severely disciplined. There is no way that Spock would have ever been just let off the hook. He would have been severely disciplined, and then they would let him off the hook.
Maverick destroyed that plane in Top Gun, and it would be his fault.
Exactly. Until he was off the hook. And Spock would have been the same way. There's no way they would have said, and they do that in too many episodes in Star Trek, really. Oh yeah, they're good about it. Yeah, they're cool, man. And there's no way in real service that they would just let those things go. And I did not believe it in this. Like, they shouldn't have put that in the end. It was unnecessary. We don't need to know. I don't know why they tried to button that up. No, we don't need to know that, right? As the audience member, hey, he's there, he's doing his thing. We didn't need to know the buttoned up. We know in the next episode that it was wrapped out as to how it was figured out. We don't need to know that.
You don't think that the audience doesn't need to know what happened to the trial to go, then the other people reviewing it would go, wait, they had a trial? What the hell happened? They just let it end?
Well, we know, because he was gone, right? Captain Mendez was gone.
Oh, it wasn't real.
It wasn't real. It wasn't a real trial. Yeah. Oh, we don't need to know how it resolved. Look at a lot of other.
The Talos, the General Order 4, they had to make a comment. It's the only place to go where there was a death sentence.
No, they didn't need to do that. I don't agree that they needed to. If you look at any kind of woman-based movie, where they get with the man in the end, it's kind of this romantic fantasy movies. Where does the movie end? When they get together as a couple, right? We don't watch it a year or 2 years down the line where they hate the hell out of each other and they go, "This is the biggest mistake I've ever," and then they break up or get divorced or move on with someone else. We never see that, but we don't care as an audience.
What's your point?
My point is they could have left it when Mendez vanished. Did you really need it to be buttoned up and say, "Oh, it's okay, you went to that planet"? Did you really need that?
Interesting point of view, and I think there's some validity to what you say. I'll watch it with a different view.
I'd love it if you had a coat on right now and you had a little snap and you just snap your coat. That would be perfect.
And I button this. We're gonna button this review up. On that note, I'm going to silence Kevin and say I might agree with you the next time I view this. Button pop.
Bruce,
yes,
thank you. It's always a pleasure. To do these with you. I just love it, and thank you for letting me have these extra 2 days, and I really appreciate it.
It was great. No problem. It is always fun to talk to you. I can't believe you're great. Terrific. Thank you.
Thank you. So what are we going to cover next time? What's next on our list of Trek episodes?
We have a list. We have a list of episodes. Apparently they made more than just a few of these. And next coming up is the 13th episode aired, The Conscience of the King.
Right.
Yeah. It's a December show. And it's actually, here's kind of interesting. It's also the 13th one. The production number is also 13.
Oh, wow. So they got them together this time.
Yeah, but it's not like, oh, from here on out, they've got them up. No, it goes all over the place, because after that, it's the 9th production episode gets played as the 14th one. So it just happens to be this one, 13.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so that'll be good. Conscience of the King. Once again, more what's it called? Shakespeare.
Yeah, more Shakespeare.
Always Shakespeare.
Cool. Thank you, Bruce.
Yep.
You have a great night, and I'm gonna sign off.
All right, so that means I'm back.
I'm thinking about getting over with you in the blue. My short-term memory is like Dusty. Oh, I can see why she likes you. And he goes, who likes me? And she goes, not very bright, though.